So then we had a break, and then we saw a movie. I always mispronounce this name. I've got Macabre.
Oh, Danse Macabre, which is the dance of death.
Mm-hmm. Which that one, or do you want to introduce it?
Doesn't matter.
It was about, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's about this woman that hangs herself, and then it shows kind of where she goes from there, so to say.
It's what happens medically after you die. So, like, they drain you of your blood, and they rinse you off, and they tidy you up to put you in your coffin. And in this case, she was cremated, so they show her being cremated, which is kind of nasty.
Yeah.
But it's very, very well done. It's done to music, and it's supposed to be, it's artistically done so that it's like she's dancing when she's doing this.
Yeah,
it's like a dance. It's the dance of death. It's really good.
Oh yeah, I really. Now that makes more sense, the title, because when she was in the coffin, and she's like kind of moving around.
Yeah, and when she's hanging, she's sweeping her hands and her feet and stuff. It's really cool.
That's really cool.
It was really gross, and some of the people in the audience were swearing and.
And guy went Jesus when you see like was it the blood being drained?
Yeah.
The guy went Jesus, and everyone laughed. But yeah, it was really, really well done. Like, it's probably my favorite
of the shorts.
Before we saw the last one. Last
Yeah.
one's probably my favorite. But no, it's very artistically done well and shot insanely well. It looked like a real. Like, I want to see that director do I would rather see that director tackle the Resident Evil franchise and get, I think it's Paul W.S. Anderson out of there. The guy who's doing Resident Evil now should move over and let this guy kind of take over, because it looked very kind of grisly and dark.
And it's won hundreds of awards. It's been all over the place. Won international awards and stuff for how well it's done. So
yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, and then so anything else you want to say about Danse Macabre?
No. Macabre.
And then the next movie after that was
Carcasses.
Yeah, no wonder I forgot the name.
Oh, stop it!
It's such a terrible movie. Carcasses. Carcasses is about nothing. Carcasses is about a man. It's based on a real life guy. And this guy, he's 60-something years old, and he has his own dump where he keeps his own car. Junkyard. Where he has his own car parts, and he goes around and gets car parts, and then he puts the car parts in his own junkyard, and he sells the parts to people, and they show him how he eats. He chews his food 20 times before swallowing, and he rummages around his house. He's a very hoardish kind of person. He's hoarding a lot of junk. And then about 50 minutes into the movie,
something happens.
Yeah, but like,
but that's not really anything.
Yeah, like 4. Was it 4? 4.
4 kids with Down syndrome. You're assuming that they're homeless, but they're well dressed, so you don't really know.
Yeah, and
they just randomly walk down the street into the junkyard and steal his food and just sit in the junkyard for a really long time.
And they wield a shotgun. It looks like a BB gun, but it's like
he's like got a rifle and he's pointing it at the guy who owns the junkyard and stuff. Like and like you see the guy from the junkyard outside, and he's getting closer and closer to these kids, and you're thinking that he's gonna be that he's gonna kill them or something, or that he's gonna yell at them and chase them out of his yard, but he just ignores them and acts like they're not there, and just nothing happens at all with them.
And then you get some sequences with really unnecessarily loud classical music. and it makes no sense. Nothing happens in this.
There's no talking. There's only talking at the beginning, and it's supposed to be documentary style. 80% documentary, 20% feature film. But you don't know when the feature film ends and the documentary begins, or either way, you have no idea because there's no sound.
Yeah.
There's sound, but there's no talking.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do talk, they're off mic.
I was just about to say, yeah, you're catching a lot of technical stuff. Like, what exactly do you mean off?
Like, okay, the Down syndrome kids, you never hear them speak. You hear them mumble, and you know that they're talking to each other, but it's a French movie, so it was supposed to be subtitled. So some of the parts where they're mic'd up, not the Down syndrome kids, but the owner of the junkyard is mic'd up, and you can hear him loud and clear, and they have the subtitles underneath. But when the kids are talking to each other, there's no subtitles, and they're completely off mic, so all you hear is...
And then there's like endless scenes of like the camera locked off on trees, and then you hear a woodpecker in the background, and there's about 2 minutes of that, and then like it's shot so bad, like the camera's locked off on just like the junkyard guy could be talking and then talking to someone else about cars, then the shot will be locked off on their waist, so you just see like two guts and a bum. It's off. I'm serious. It's like the worst movie I think I've ever seen in my life. It was going between that and like that Salo 120 Days of Sodom I saw like a while ago, and I was like, this is 120 Days of Sodom is the worst movie I'll ever see in my life. Nothing happens. No, and then Carcasses comes along, and even this year I was like, nothing's going to be worse than your Youth in Revolt. And then this comes. It's on. I swear, don't. It's awful. It is. Nothing happens. I'm gonna rant for another 30. What?
Okay, then I'll save your butt. It's not that bad. It's 72 minutes. It's not that long. And if you're looking at it from an artistic point of view, it's really not that bad. I when it was done, Addison turned to me and kind of gave me a look and said, "So, what do you think of that?" And I said, "You know what? It was okay. I didn't mind that." And he went, "Well, what?"
And my brain falling out of my ears and like...
Yeah, it was... I didn't find it that slow. Because I think I was waiting for something to happen the entire time, so I was like anticipating what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But when nothing did, I was kind of disappointed. But I don't know, I really didn't mind it that much.
Okay. Everything about it was awful, and I like movies like that. I was telling you, I love slow movies. Like, I like movies like The Last Days, directed by Gus Van Sant or Sant. I never know how to say his name, but like that's somewhere like for the better half, it's just a guy walking around the woods, pretty much awaiting to die. And that's a really good movie. It's shot incredibly well. I love that movie. And then something like I just saw recently, Limits of Control, with Jim Jarmusch, and
very good movie.
It was great. Like, it's this kind of subtle spy movie where this guy just sits at a cafe and gets clues from random people, and then goes to sleep, wakes up, does Tai Chi in the morning, and does that for like an hour and a half. And it's very subtle and very artsy, but I liked it. It kept me interested. This just kind of sits there and meanders, and you're watching a guy rummage for no apparent reason for 50 minutes.
It is kind of pointless, but if you want to see the movie just for the sake of saying you saw it.
Yeah, like I can definitely say it.
That was a lot of S's. Sake of saying you saw it. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I could say that I've seen the worst movie I've seen in my life in theaters.
True. There you go.
But I was telling you, like, I would rather have seen something like Pontypool.
Yeah, there were a lot of other movies that I would have rather have seen that I've heard about in the festivals. And I would have rather seen different movies. I don't know. I think they could have done better. What they can get, right?
Exactly. And it was a great lineup. Like, it was just this one kind of speed bump.